Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at none other than the brand new Transformers Studio Series number 80 Deluxe Class Brawn. And yes, I have not posted in a long time, but I will show you some reviews are on the way and another figure is on the way for a review. So basically in this review we're going to take a look at Brawn, his articulation, paintwork and everything. And oh my goodness, this figure is packed, jam-packed with a lot of attention to detail, a lot of everything. This figure is what we should have gotten in 2018 when the Bumblebee movie released. So first off, let's take a look at the packaging. Here we can see Brawn right here inside, and there is a difference between now the packages of 2022 from 2020, 2019, and from back then. I'll show you the difference later. Number 80, Brawn. Right here we get a nice picture of him right here. Then on this side we get a back view of the box. We see the artwork of both him in his robot and vehicle form, and his vehicle form is rather peculiar if you ask me. It's like this driller slash motorcycle-ish thing. I'm not so sure, but we'll just call it his Cybertronian mode. His iconic movie scene is when Cybertron falls. Right here, Brawn helps his Autobot allies hold the line against the Decepticons before being knocked by an enemy blast. So remember in the Bumblebee movie when he says take cover and then he gets blasted, so that's where that scene is, when he just gets blasted in the face. And the last side of the packaging is a black backdrop behind him showing how he looks like. So there's a slight difference I do need to show you between the Studio Series of today and the Studio Series of last year and from before. I'm just taking in Joel, for example. You could clearly see the difference. The boxes for now, the Deluxe classes, I believe it's going to apply to Voyager classes as well in the future, because it did apply to the Leader class Starscream. The boxes are going to be smaller, and if you think about it also, the width of the width is of the box is going to be shorter. So as we can see, I'm just going to show you from a side perspective for here. It is shorter a little bit. So the height and the width are shorter, while the length didn't really change that much, but I'm sorry, the length and the height are shorter. The width didn't change, so yeah. So the box looks really nice and everything. And I do want to show you how they look. How now, instead of having a plastic frame covering them, now they have just a cardboard cutout and little pieces of plastic. So I'll show you how he looks like in the box. Here we can clearly see that we see Brawn, but on a backdrop. But in fact, there are two backdrops. This one that's holding the figure itself, and my goodness, look at the attention to detail. I'll touch base on him later. And we have the regular backdrop down there. So you can see it a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to see, but we have two distinct backdrops, one that's holding the figure and one that's right there. In fact, they're the same backdrop. However, they're using this now. I'm not really a fan of this. I don't really like this idea. It kind of takes away the how they used to be in frames secure. I don't feel like they're secure that much. What if you take them out of the box and then you put them back in? They're just gonna wobble around. So I don't really like what Hasbro's doing with these figures. But supposedly it's to be eco-friendly, but oh well. It doesn't matter. So let's just get Brawn out of this and then I'll show you how he looks like. So here we have Brawn out of the packaging, fresh out of the packaging, and my goodness, take a look at how he looks like. Honestly, I don't think there's another figure that could top this besides the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. But this figure looks amazing, and I'm just so excited for Ironhide and RC that are coming in the future. And I'm gonna do a review of Ratchet, and once I get Wheeljack, him as well. But my goodness, look at the detail on this guy just for a 360 spin. He looks phenomenal. Hasbro, what the team at Hasbro is doing is amazing with this figure. The color scheme looks completely accurate to the movie. It's like they just plucked him out of the movie and popped him in the shelves. Honestly, this is really amazing. And to even make this figure even cooler, besides his weapons, I did want to show you how the backdrop does look like. And in fact, there's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of detail. We can see some seekers right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. There's a couple seekers right here, and there's also this other transformer here, which I can't decipher who this is, but it's probably some sort of Cybertronian guy or something, and we could clearly see B-127 or Bumblebee driving through, ready to ram them. I think this is a scene when Bumblebee drives up somewhere and he hits Thrust and Thundercracker in the Bumblebee movie. So I think that's probably Thrust and that's probably Thundercracker. But take a look at it in your alone time. I'm just gonna leave it right here so that you can see how it looks like. Take a picture if you want to see how it looks like. So yeah, but moving back onto the figure, my goodness, Brawn looks amazing. Just check out all the detail. And in fact, he does come with 2 accessories. One being his blaster right here. I think it's sculpted really nice, looks really good, and it's really huge. Look how big it is. It's really huge compared to Brawn. Looks really nice. And then he has his drill thing, which honestly, I'm not so sure. This is more of a throwaway accessory, but looks amazing. So I'm just gonna show you how he looks like equipped with this. So we're just gonna attach his gun right there, and then we're just gonna attach this drilly thing right here. And I think that he looks amazing like this. He looks really cool. Right here we can see how Brawn would look like in the Bumblebee movie if he showed up with this thing, how he would look like. And I'm really hoping that he can make at least a cameo in Transformers Rise of the Beast coming next year. I really want to see him in the film. I want to see more of these classic characters come to life in their modern day forms. So now that we took a look at Brawn, let's take a look at some of the detail on him. So I'm just gonna bring him in for a closer look, and honestly, he looks really cool. Just checking how he looks like. The head looks really nice. We can see the paintwork right there. We can see the Autobot insignia right there, as well as I believe we get, oh yes we do, we get wrist rotation. We get a ball joint right here which could move at a terrific degree. We get a hinge joint that could, I believe, a double-ish hinge joint that could move sort of past 90 degrees. So yeah, but that is mainly due to transformation. Looks really nice. The legs, they're on ball joints as well, but due to the nature of the design, oh wait, no, they're on hinge joints. But we can't really make them split that much. But he has a knee joint right here. The toes could pivot back and forth as well as rock side to side. So overall, we can see that. Oh, and he's got waist rotation. We can see that Brawn is a really well articulated figure. I was not expecting wrist rotation on this guy, knowing that he's a deluxe. Speaking of deluxes, let's compare him to some other deluxe Transformers. So speaking of deluxe Transformers, here we have B-127 and Cliffjumper being compared to Brawn, and we can see overall, out of the 3, Brawn seems to be the smallest. I'm really surprised, but despite being the smallest, he's got a lot more engineering than B-127 and Cliffjumper have. And just to even show you how small Brawn, Cliffjumper, and B-127 are, let's compare them to Starscream and Thrust, and we can clearly see how small they are. So I'm just gonna move these 2 out of the way for a second, and I'm just gonna put these guys side to side, and we clearly see how small he is. I'm not showing them that much, just check out my review, but we can see how small Brawn is compared to them. I really do like that. That really does capture how Brawn always was in the G1 series, how he was always smaller than every other Autobot, yet being the fiercest. So now that we take a look at that, oh, look at the paintwork on the arms also too. The back looks really nice. I forgot to check the back. Wow, this guy has literally no hollow gaps. This is what a Transformer should be. It looks like it can't even transform, but wait till we get it transformed, which is our next segment of the video. So without further ado, let's get Brawn transformed. Alright, so for starting with transformation, I do want to show you an alternate way to store his weapons on his back right before transformation. So there are in fact 2 ways, and I did come up with a new form of weapon for him. So if we go toward him on the back right here, we can see this little tab right here. So we're gonna see that little tab, and you know what it's gonna do? This is what it's gonna do. There's this little circular port and little slot, and this port right here. Just gonna slide it in like that, just like that. Putting the weapon right there, and you could in fact attach the driller right there, but I found that it doesn't hold all that well. Also, another weapon you could do is just get the driller, and honestly, this looks killer. This looks sick. It looks really cool. I am personally gonna put him like this in the collection because I don't really like this drill just in the hand. I feel like it should move somehow, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. And it just brings a more character to Brawn. So moving on to the transformation, the first step you're gonna have to do is simply get this back region right here, lift it like this. So you're just gonna lift it slowly like that, and then when that is done, you're just gonna move this region up right here. Now after that, sorry for clearing my nose, you could take the opportunity to pivot Brawn's head down, but I wouldn't pivot it all the way because of the transformation. After that, we're gonna get Brawn's arms, lift them up like this. I'm going off the instructions right now, so bear with me. We're gonna lift them up like this, and then after that, we're gonna turn them till now they are facing like this. I'm gonna turn the whole arm so now the open area is facing towards us when you have it like this. After that, you're just gonna have to make sure the arms, this hinge joint right here, will bring the arms inside, and you're gonna have to make sure this whole region does in fact move because of that double hinge joint. And you're gonna see there are these circular part, I can't say that, on the arms. So you're just gonna push them inside right here till they click. You're gonna do the same process on the other side. Just gonna make sure this piece pivots like that, and then like that. And then now, let's just push his head down a little bit more like that. Now that we have that done, we can already see how the vehicle is forming already. So now that we have that done, let's just see how we do the other side. So surprisingly enough, you're gonna have to flip the waist like that. I was not really expecting that. You're gonna in fact separate the legs a bit. Then you're just gonna move this region like this, so now the toes are in fact facing each other. You're gonna disengage this piece right here, and then you're gonna have to make sure it does in fact look like this. So you're just gonna have to unclip that region right there like that, and then you're just gonna have to unclip this region as well like that. Now that that is done, you're just gonna make the foot fall right here inside that slot. So there's a circular slot on the foot, I believe, or you're just gonna make it fall like that. You're just gonna make it fall like this. It doesn't have to connect. Then after that, I'm just merely looking off the instructions. We're just gonna make sure this whole region does in fact go down, and I know the rest. We're gonna make sure this little tab right here is gonna go in that slot. So just gonna push it in right there, and I believe there is a little error on my copy with the tab not being big enough, but I won't blame Hasbro that much. I mean, it's okay. Then we're gonna, once that is done, you're gonna have to push this piece in like so on the wheel. Like, we're just gonna have to push this in. After that's pushed in, do the same process on this side. You're gonna have to make sure this tab goes in that slot right there, and then after that, you're gonna have to make sure that this does in fact connect inside. It's rather hard to do, but it's really simple. And we have Brawn transformed in that really cool Driller Cybertronian little drone mode. And honestly, this figure is what I call a masterpiece. This is one of the best Transformers Studio Series figures we can get our hands on of 2022. The 2022 and 2020 figures are in fact being so much better than 2019, 20, and 2018. These figures are in fact being amazing. 2021 was 2020, 2021, and 2022. They're being really, really cool. As we can see, this guy rolls really nicely. To attach his accessories, we can you could put the blaster right here, but I have noticed that it doesn't hold all that well. So look, it could just simply, just with a touch, it could just go down. So in fact, I don't really like putting his blaster there all that much. I just like leaving it around, or even there. I think there's this port right here, and oh wait, never mind. It can't go. Oh wait, it can. No, it can't. Well, whatever. And then there's this little region right here. This little region on the wheels, which we can lift up, I believe, or something, so that we lift this region up to put the drill, which I'll show you in a bit. First, let me just move this up off screen so that you can see how it looks like. So after a minute of struggling off screen, I found out how to get this little port flipped. So you're just simply going to grab it like this. No need to disconnect any pieces whatsoever. And you just push it like that. And after that, you're just going to attach this little drill right there. And there, we have Brawn with his driller attached, ready to take on the Decepticons. And honestly, it's not that bad of a concept. I really do like how this does look like, how it does blend in. I could already imagine him trying to drill up some passageway through so the Autobots could escape or something, or even to attack Decepticon like Soundwave, Thrust, or Starscream. So overall, I think that this looks really, really cool. And just for a quick size comparison, let me bring in our... So here we have Transformers Studio Series B127 and Cliff Jumper here, and we can overall see how the size is from Brawn to these characters. So overall, we all know that Cliff Jumper and B127, they're the exact same mold. So I'm just gonna put Cliff Jumper to the side, or you know what, I'll put B127 to the side. I feel like we get enough of him and not Cliff Jumper. But I'll show you how Brawn and Cliff Jumper stack up. With the drill, Brawn appears to be the longer figure, but without the drill, let's just remove that right there. Brawn is a smaller, chunkier little sort of little hovercraft or something. You can see that Brawn is the smaller figure of the bunch. In car form as well as in robot form, he was a tiny bit smaller, but we can see overall all three of them, they all look great together. I could already imagine a rewrite of the 2007 Transformers movie, but with the Bumblebee movie Transformers, that'll be really, really cool. And having Brawn in there, I think that would look cool. This is what we should have gotten in 27 with the Transformers. I feel like this looks really cool. We finally got Brawn in a Studio Series figure as well as the Bumblebee film. So I'm really glad that we got this guy in the collection finally as of 2022. So some final thoughts for the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Brawn. Overall, a really must-have, one of the greatest Studio Series figures there can ever be currently as of 2022. The sculpt work on the face, everything looks amazing. The attention to detail, everything on this figure looks amazing. There are little hidden details that I might have missed, please forgive me, but there are like tiny little things, probably like this underneath area is black, it looks all mechanical, and even if you look very closely, I'm not so sure if you could see on this camera, but his eyes are in fact have a shade of blue, hinting out like the Autobots always have blue eyes. So I really did like that. I barely noticed that. And the paint work on this figure is phenomenal. He looks great with other figures, looks amazing, one of the best Transformers figures out there. And currently, as of this video, I'm not so sure if I have 1,000 subscribers or not, but I will do a 1,000 subscriber thank you video to all of you guys for subscribing, and let's hope we could get to 2,000 or even 10,000. I am so grateful for you guys subscribing and everything. I couldn't appreciate it more. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment, hit that notifications bell, so you can stay tuned when I upload and stuff. And I will see you at our next Transformers Studio Series video, or next War for Cybertron video, or even a Legacy video. Until then, I'll see you at our next review. Thank you for watching.